water hole 2.0. This was the first water hole that we ever installed, or at least I ever installed, and I learned quite a bit when I first did this first one. As you can see, this slope that we have here, I didn't have enough dirt on it, and over time, with rain, deer, you know, that water kind of comes up, it comes down, it kind of pulls the liner, or the dirt off the liner, which then exposes the membrane. And then once that's exposed, I mean, you can see I got some trail cameras over there. I've got, it's amazing, everything just likes to eat the plastic. So raccoons, coyotes, it just ends up getting torn apart, and then it ends up not doing what you ultimately want to do. We didn't really have the best clay here, so it didn't really just naturally hold the water. But now that we're getting more shade with the trees that we planted behind it, this is going to be able to start holding water a little bit better for the long haul. But we're going to get in here, we're going to push this honeysuckle back, we're going to completely redo this and make this water hole a little bit better, because I'm telling you right now, my goal this year is to kill a buck in this spot right here. I finally have been learning over the last 2 years when they use this and how they've been getting in here. So I've been changing my approach completely. I used to kind of come up and around that way, and unfortunately, that's going to be basically a human no zone area anymore. Everything to my right, I'm not going to be walking through at all. Most of the time, those big guys like to come right from that way. So now I've changed my approach, I'm changing my wind direction, and I will be killing a big buck here this fall, because last year I blew it and there's a good one coming in here and I was just doing the wrong thing, but I got him figured out for this year. Did you hear about that? No. I was flying a drone behind his guy planting, and he put it in reverse, and I didn't know he put it in reverse, the tractor, and then bam, hit the drone. Well, that hit the ground. That was done. Yeah. Okay, well, we ripped out the original water hole. We're kind of forming a new bowl here. It's gonna be a little bit bigger. And then what we're gonna do here is, our low spot is here. We're trying to catch whatever rainwater is gonna come down in front of us. So what we're gonna do now is pretty much just take the dirt that we've got, we're gonna build up this berm, we're gonna keep driving over it with the skid steer to kind of make it a nice hard pack. And then we're gonna pull these roots out. That way nothing gets punctured the liner, but otherwise then the water hole is gonna lay right in here. So I'll start kind of packing some stuff here and laying on it. If you wanna just grab these couple of sticks out of here, we should be in good shape. Well, we've got it perfectly shaped to be able to catch all this rainwater coming in. Right now, Kevin's behind me. He's laying down the felt pad. And we're gonna go ahead and put that all down right here. We picked out all the rocks and sticks that could potentially puncture the liner, but this is gonna be a lot nicer than it was, because that old one was just getting all filled in with silt and it was just not really doing what I wanted it to do anymore. So this is gonna be a lot better. And actually, if you look behind me real quick, you can see Kevin's guys are all out there kicking butt. This is gonna become a tree planting right here now to be able to allow these deer just to travel in here a lot better and kind of make this a nice little shaded water hole like I've always wanted. A lot of times this was getting a little too much sun and it was drying it out, but now with these trees are getting bigger, the trees behind Brandon are starting to get tall, and this new planting is just gonna make it nice and easy for these deer to slide in here. Let's get this felt liner down and keep moving forward. Usually I buy more of a I don't want to say the word neoprene, but it's a heavier rubber. This here is more like a plastic garbage bag, man. I kind of cheaped out. I should have checked this before I got here today, but we're here and we're gonna make it work. And I bought 2 of them, so I guess worst case scenario, we'll just double them up. But this is a little cheaper than I wanted to go with. See, you can just see it's kind of cheap. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pliable. It doesn't, you know. I mean, it's got some strength to it once the dirt's on top of it, but. Here it is. It doesn't look bad. This is actually decent clay right here, you know?
Yeah, yep, good clay on top of the rock.
He had to throw on top of the rock. Thanks, Kev. Well, we've got the liner in. We're gonna go ahead and have Cole get this thing filled up with water. It looks pretty good. Cole, we'll start down here. What we don't want to do is have it erode off. And then the next time you come, go down and come back up, in that black box is a bag of it's a small bag of oats. I'll just go ahead and put a little bit of oats in here just to get some roots going quick. And I'll probably go get some grass too, just on this edge. But it's done. I mean, this is definitely gonna hold more water for sure. A little less than 3 hours, huh? Now is when you get to see where the water's gonna go. It was doing really good with the clay right there. It's like packed solid. Okay, well, we made quick work of this. This looks fantastic, and I really like the way it's a lot easier for the deer to kind of enter here and enter there. Before, it was really steep. And a lot of times what would happen is the deer would slip. Actually, I got this one video, which we'll put in here, of this buck that actually caught the liner and slipped last year. It was a pretty good deer, but this is a lot better. It's much bigger than it was last year. And this is just such a good spot for it because there is not a lot of water around. We've really been in a drought probably now for, geez, at least 2-3 years it feels like. Even my creek down in the bottom is going pretty light. So it's all finished up now. Cole's gonna make probably 10 or 12 trips with the water. We're gonna get this thing filled up and hopefully we start getting some rain to get this thing filling by itself. But we're gonna at least get it seeded with enough water to where the deer can start using it like they were. Let's put a couple trail cameras up here on the edge like we had before. That way we can get to see who starts to use it first. But this is gonna be so much better this year. We'll go ahead now. What we'll do is we'll let Cole get it filled. And then I'm gonna bring up, I just got some, I think some oats or rye. Those will establish really quickly just to give some roots. And then I'm gonna come back get a little bit of grass and spread some grass around on these edges too, just to get things going. Because what you don't want is a big, huge rain. I mean, you want a big rain to come now because you want to get it filled, but what you don't want with all this loose soil is it to start to expose the liner. And that's what will happen when you start getting water coming down here and coming down over there. It just starts running and it will just expose that liner. And that's what you don't want to do because the deer just hate it and then the raccoons will start eating it. But for the most part, other than getting these trail cameras set up and Cole getting some water in it, this thing's done. It's ready to move on to the next project. So if you want to do a water hole, guys, make sure you check out the first video, not the first, but probably the second video. We'll put a link in the bottom, but there we show you kind of building one more in the woods. This one's here a little bit more in the open, and then I've been planting all these trees to eventually have it be surrounded. Ideally, if you can keep the water holes in shade, they do so much better. Obviously, when you get them into the sun, the water evaporates a lot quicker. So now that these trees are getting bigger and they're kind of hanging over it is great. The only time that this thing will really start picking up sun now is usually around, I would say 2:30, when it goes 2:30 and down. But by then it's not as bad as the heat of the day. So this is gonna be good. This is actually one of my target spots that I want to kill a buck from this year. May even just take a doe too, because I've always wanted to kill a deer off this water hole. I never have. I just never took the time to hunt it enough. But man, there's always a lot of good videos here. So I'm gonna just quickly dress this edge up, fix that over there. We're gonna load these cameras, make sure that they're sending us data, and we're out of here.
What do we got going on here, Todd?
Good. I am not being lazy and letting Kevin do the rest of the work. I got a freaking leg cramp. One of these days I'm gonna figure out the secret of fixing